Are you still stuck at band 6 in IELTS speaking even after months of practice? Well, you're not alone and you're not failing. A lot of IELTS test takers actually don't need more practice. Instead, they need to know why they are stuck. In this video, I'll take you through the common mistakes that students make and how to fix them. I'm Doral, an IELTS coach who helps women and university students reach band 7 and above, especially in speaking and writing, where most struggle. I've worked with students who were stuck at band 5 or 6, and within weeks of working together, they got band 7 and above. So let's break down the first mistake I see people make again and again. If your answers are just one-word answers, like yes or no, then it doesn't give the examiner enough to assess your fluency and coherence, or your ability to expand on an idea, and that always leads to a lower score. For example, one of my students, Wendy from Taiwan, had this exact problem. She thought that if she gave one-word answers, that will actually help her to make fewer mistakes. But instead, it made her look and sound uncertain and limited in her answers. Let's practice with the following example. If you're asked about do you exercise, this is an example of what you could say. Yes, I try to exercise regularly. It helps me stay healthy and gives me loads of energy throughout the day. For example, I go for a 30-minute walk most mornings, and it helps me focus better when I start work. It has become part of my daily routine. That's the difference. You sound more fluent and coherent by using this method instead of just answering yes or no in the IELTS speaking test. And it also gives the examiner enough to assess you on. Now, once you've fixed the problem of short answers, the next mistake that keeps IELTS candidates stuck at band 6 is the words that they use. So let's move on to the second mistake, which is repeating the same vocabulary. If you keep on using the same words continuously throughout the IELTS speaking test, like good, nice, it doesn't show that you actually have a variety of vocabulary to use, which in the end leads to a low lexical resource score. Lexical resource is just another word for your vocabulary and how accurately you use it in the IELTS speaking test. I do want you to note that the mistake is not using basic words like the ones that I listed earlier, but you have to show, as I've mentioned, that you have a variety of vocabulary in your vocabulary list. But here's how you can upgrade certain words in your vocabulary so that you don't continuously use the same words. For example, if you say something was very good, you could change it to show variation in your vocabulary by saying, it was absolutely unforgettable. Instead of saying, I like movies, you could say, I'm a huge fan of thrillers because they keep me on the edge of my seat. This makes you sound more flexible, expressive, and without sounding memorized. That's how you show examiners that your vocabulary goes beyond just basic vocabulary, even with small upgrades. By the way, if you're curious about what band you would score today, I've created a free quiz. I'll link it down below in the description box, and it only takes 2 minutes. Right, let's move on to mistake number 3, which is sounding robotic or memorized. Now, even if you expand your answers and use the correct vocabulary, there is another trap that keeps you stuck at band 6, and that is sounding memorized. This is one of the biggest mistakes that I see IELTS students make, especially those who watch Band 9 videos and try to copy answers word for word. Examiners aren't looking for perfect sentences, they are looking for natural communication. If your answers sound memorized, they'll notice immediately. One of my students, Ari, memorized entire sentences from YouTube videos. And during her mock speaking test, when the questions were slightly changed, she froze and she didn't know what to do. Rather, practice flexibility instead of perfection. Use real IELTS questions and train yourself to answer in the moment, even if you do make little grammar or even pronunciation mistakes. This shows the examiner that you can think on your feet and communicate clearly and naturally under pressure. And that's worth more than trying to sound flawless. If you're making one or more of the mistakes that I mentioned, don't feel bad because a lot of our students do. It's because they don't know exactly what they are doing wrong and what is keeping them stuck at band 6. But if you're currently wondering what your band score is, I've created a free 2-minute quiz. It estimates your band level and gives you a quick tip you can apply right away. It's linked in the description box. Comment, like, and subscribe if you found this video helpful. I'll see you next time.